Hello, I'm William Gallagher. This is 58 Keys for writers who want to get more from their iPhones, their iPads, and the Macs. And actually, something's come up, particularly with iPhones. Apple has just unveiled the forthcoming iOS 14. The operating system's going to be on phones in a few months' time, and there are people, including me, who are now currently running. Well, we don't run up to people, we kind of zoom up to people, don't we? Zoom up to you and enthuse about widgets. And then there are people who back away to 2 meters and look at you blankly. Widgets are going to be this thing that will be very useful in iOS 14, but only if you know they exist, and they already exist. I mean, these widget things mostly are already in existence and on your phone right now. I know you've seen them, possibly accidentally you've swiped across, but you've seen them, you may not have paid much attention to them, and that is what will change as they do this transformation and become more visible, more useful in iOS 14, but they're pretty visible and they're very useful right now. I mean, from fast ways to jotting down an idea, to looking up the weather, to making quick audio recordings, it's all there in your widgets on your iPhone right now. So I would like please to show you how widgets work at this moment in iOS 13, and then everything you see is going to be exactly the same in iOS 14, but you'll get more. They will do more. So then I'll show you iOS 14, and I think then you're going to be as keen on these as I am. This is how it looks now. Pick up your iPhone, and I've unlocked this, but actually even without unlocking it, you can swipe from left to right and you get this thing that's called Notification Center. What you see will be different to what I see. Every phone is different, but it will always be this series of panels with sources of information in them. Apple provides a lot of them. Developers of other apps, any developer with any app can choose to provide some, and actually usually most of the ones I have are from other developers. But here's, for example, there's Apple News, Dark Sky Weather. Oh, this one, just press record. I love this app. To record the audio really quick because I've just thought of an idea, I want to get it down, or I just need to do a quick interview. I can swipe, scroll, tap, and actually I have to tap again then, but then I am recording. And I appear to have screen time underneath it. I don't like screen. You know, screen time, it tells you how much time you spent on the device in the last week, and it's supposed to have you cut down. My mom has this on her iPad and she believes that it's Apple scolding her. You only use the iPad for 10 minutes this week. She doesn't like that. And then lastly, I have Siri suggestions. And actually, unless you actively choose to get rid of that, so have you. But speaking of getting rid of things, I would like to get rid of screen time. Here's how. If I go down to this edit button, now you see this is a list of widgets that you haven't saw. At the top here is a list of all the widgets that will show up on that screen when you swipe over, and actually it's also a list showing you the order that they're in. So pretend for a minute that I love screen time. I could do this, tap and hold on this grab handle and then drag it up to the top. And now if I let go of that and tap done, go back up here, this is widgets with screen time at the top. It's just so thrilling. Let's scroll back down, tap edit again, and now we find screen time rare and we tap even the blue list there, we tap on remove, and it is gone forever. Yeah, no, it's gone from that screen, it's gone from that list. It's moved down here to the second list. This is one headed more widgets. Remember that Apple provides some, and Apple app developers can choose to provide more if they want to. This list automatically gathers together a list of all the widgets that are in all the apps that you have installed, whether it's Apple's or anyone else's. If the app has a widget, it's automatically in here, and you can add any or all of them to your screen. You pick one, you see the green plus sign, tap on that and it moves up out of this list into the bottom of that main list. You just sort of, and you do that with notes because I do use notes a lot. There it is. Notes is now an active, I'm going to drag it to the top. It's now an active widget at the top, and if I hit done there you go, idea for a lawyer story. Okay, you're not supposed to read that. I could tap on it and it would take me into notes and you'd read the whole thing. But instead, notice the show more at the top of this widget, the top right, isn't it? Lots of widgets have this, not all, but a lot. And if you tap more, well, it shows you more. For example, here, Notes chooses to show me the last 3 notes that I had, but it also has controls. It's up to the widget developer, but for example, in Notes, these controls here, there's one button to let me very quickly start a new note. The next one is to create like a checklist, a tick list. Middle one is take a photograph and put it into a new note. Then there's scan a document and put it into a note, and so on. Every widget is different, and actually they're all the same in this case. Eventually, all they really do is take you through to the app to do what you want, but it's fast and it's handy. Now, as it happens, I don't tend to write notes like that, but I read the news here a lot, and I used to have a calendar widget. It was just a fast way, one glance way to see today and the next 7 days in one go. I mean, if I ever had to drive anywhere, I could then tap on that and go through to the calendar and get the details. But, you know, unsurprisingly, I've chucked that before it could depress me. Now, I actually like piddling about in here, looking through widgets, because it is ultimately useful. And anyway, it comes under the category of excuses for not writing. But even so, I don't use widgets as much as I might, as much as I thought I would when I find them. I use them, but I don't use them a lot. And that's going to be the bit that will change with iOS 14. Right, hang on. Oh, different phone. Right. This is the developer version of iOS 14, and I've installed it on a semi-spare iPhone. Please don't do that and don't borrow anybody else. Yeah. Wait until September when it's going to be ready for prime time and officially released. iOS 14. It's coming. But here it is, and actually, here's my home screen, and just as before, I can swipe to the right to bring up widgets, and it's precisely not exactly the same at all, is it? Two differences. I think the most obvious one on this screen is that there are hardly any widgets there, and that is my fault. You'll see why in a minute. The whole point of this is you can now move them out, and I did, and I struggled to find a way to move them back. But yeah, that's my thing. Yeah, it's definitely me. Could be a beta problem, but it isn't. And anyway, you'll see in a moment why it's fine, doesn't matter. First though, the more important difference is you saw in the old version, the widgets were all the same. They were quite grey, they were small, they're very text-based. iOS 14 here, they're much bigger, they're much more visual, a bit brash. They come in several sizes, and there are two examples here. I don't actually know how to describe them really. Those bottom two, how to control center, and the battery thing, they're like half width, and the stocks one above is full width. Okay. Let's take that battery percentage one. Press and hold. This is sometimes quite fiddly actually. Press and hold. Ooh, I may have missed it here. And you can then drag that out into your home screen and pop it anywhere you like. So now, actually, without doing any swiping left, you pick up the phone and there is a widget on the screen. And you can also just move it around as much as easy as you can. Anyhow, you press and hold till it all jiggles, and then move around and you're done. But also, actually, if I do that again, you see the plus sign there? That's new. Tap on that, and here we get a list of all the widgets that are available in apps. In fact, actually, let's try, have we got maps here? I'd like to see maps. That'll do. I'll have a look at maps there. And you get a widget, but also different sizes. And that's very nice. We're going to have that one. Pop it in. If that was it, that'd be great. I pick up the phone and there it is. I mean, at the moment it's limited because the only widgets that are available are actually Apple's own, but others are coming. OmniFocus, my to-do app, no question, that's going to be a widget that's available. I expect Fantastical, the calendar app I use most, that's going to be in there. And actually, I like it a lot. I'm going to find it a little hard though, because it looks so strange, doesn't it, compared to the front. I've been taking a screen grab of every screen of my iPhone since 2007, and this is a big change, hard to get used to. I like that old home screen enough that I might even actually be tempted to go back to just having apps and no widgets, if it weren't for one thing, two things. Stacks and smart stacks. First, stacks. You saw how I could jiggle the screen and start editing the home screen. Well, I can also do this. I find this a bit fiddly too. There's fiddly, don't do it to me. No, can't get it, let's try that way. There we go. I can put two together. And now there's one slot, but I can slap. I can switch between them with a flick of the wrist. There we go. And also if I do this and edit stack, here's the list of things. Oh, I appear to have maps on it twice. So I've done that. Get rid of that one. Just the same way as we used to. And you can move this up and down, change the order. But the thing that's really key about this is that smart rotate button. It's an optional one for it. If that's switched on, well, the iPhone will change your widgets for you. With it switched off, you can flick anytime. With it on, you can flick, anytime you like. But with it switched to Smart Rotate, as well as you being able to do that anytime you like, the phone will do it for you. So in the morning, maybe it notices, machine noticing, it notices that I check the weather first thing, perhaps. Maybe it realizes at the end of the night, I tend to check the news or something like that. So I'll pick up the phone and in the morning, the weather will be there. In the evening, the news will be there. Isn't that just incredibly useful? Here's a widget that always existed, been in iOS for years, and now suddenly you'll use it every day. Utterly love that. Okay, so what you saw there was me running iOS 14 on a semi-spare iPhone. I can't tell you not to get the beta version, since I obviously have, but I will tell you that I have completely bricked an older iPhone by installing beta software. If you don't have a spare phone, just wait, be completely safe. Wait until Apple releases iOS 14 properly. And even before it does that though, the widgets you already have on iOS 13, widgets are your friend. They're just going to become more familiar friends soon. That's it for 58 keys this time. Please, jiggle that YouTube subscribe button for me and take care of yourself, okay? I'll see you soon.